Gaming PC wish.com.
Do you want to buy a PC?
I'd love to buy a PC. What's the specs?
So it's got an i5 10400F,
Nice.
GTX 1080 graphics card,
Yeah.
16 gigabytes of RAM,
Oh my
DDR4,
God.
3200 megahertz.
You're lying, right?
Nope.
Okay, how much?
Offer the ground price of £50.
Sold.
Right. Delivered.
Oh yes! Just what I've always wanted. What's up guys, welcome back to Tech Applied. This is our Wish gaming PC. So as you can clearly see, it was advertised as an i5 10400F with a GT 1030 graphics card. That's clearly not what we got. Instead, we got two hunchy fans.
If you want them, comment below.
Don't ever buy from Wish.
Yeah. There's nothing really more to say about that.
Yeah.
It was advertised as a PC, and we got two Hunchy fans, which I probably didn't pronounce that properly, but they're definitely not worth £25 each. So, yep, we've learned our lesson. Don't ever buy from Wish, okay?
Right.
On to today's video, which Eli is going to tell you all about it.
Yeah, so basically what we've done, we've bought a gaming PC for under £200. We managed to get it to 190, I think.
So as Eli said, for £190 we have managed to put together a budget gaming PC made of older components. If you want the full list of specs, look in the description below, but just so you know roughly what we're working with, we've got an AMD Athlon x4 860K CPU on the FM2 socket and a Radeon R7 260X GPU. And we just basically want to see how this older hardware stands up in 2021 and if it's worth buying for a budget gaming PC, because at the moment with graphics card prices and like the rest of us are struggling trying to get one of these new 3000 series GPUs, aren't we?
Yeah.
Not Eli. So since his last video,
Have a look at this, guys.
he's now got a 3060 Ti.
Oh, isn't she beautiful? Don't be jealous, Holmes.
And I have no idea how he got it. But anyway, on to today's benchmarks. We hope you enjoy it and see what performance you can get out of an older but budget gaming PC.
Right guys, we've jumped into Fallout 4 now. As you can see, we're getting around 30 FPS and this is on the medium preset. To be honest, to get a 60 FPS experience from this game, you'll probably have to drop to the low preset and maybe even have to drop resolution from 1080p to 720p. But to me personally, 30 FPS at 1080p is more than adequate experience for this game. And now we have jumped into Napoleon Total War. In my experience, the Total War franchise has a habit of being very CPU and GPU intensive, so these are quite good games when it comes to benchmarking components to see what sort of performance you are going to get from them. As you can see from the on-screen display there, MSI Afterburner in the corner, we're getting roughly 30 FPS for this game, but this is a very good frame rate in my experience, especially considering all the settings for this game are on ultra at 1080p. For a GPU and CPU from the era of roughly 2014, that is a very good result. But jumping into Fallout New Vegas now. This combination handles this game very well at 1080p. I'm not gonna try and put it down in any way whatsoever. I had quite a lot of fun playing this this title on this system. As you can see from the frame rate in the top left corner, every now and then it does drop below 60 FPS. It gets in between anywhere from 40 to 60 when you get into combat or heavy populated areas. But other than that, the majority of the time this will give you a 60 FPS frame rate at 1080p, and this is ultra, completely maxed out on this game. Jumping in for Left 4 Dead 2 now, and as you can see, this combination of CPU and GPU with 16 gigabytes of RAM is handling this game very well, maxed out at 1080p. It was a very enjoyable experience. There was hardly any dips below 60 while playing Left 4 Dead 2. So, this is the budget gaming system that we have put together, comprising of older hardware. And there's the Athlon x4 860K and the R7 260X. You can definitely tell that this is a budget build, lots of ketchup and mustard, and we even used one of the fans that we got from Wish just to throw a little RGB in there. But in conclusion, this combination of CPU and GPU in 2021, we can't really recommend it as a 1080p gaming system, because when it comes to modern AAA titles, this system will really struggle, especially if you're running anything above low presets at 1080p. So if it comes to playing older games or some classics that you enjoy, then yeah, for 1080p, go for it. But for modern AAA, it's definitely not worth buying unless you can get it for a cheap price. Also, throughout most of today's benchmarks, the limiting factor appeared to be the Athlon 860K. If you look at the MSI Afterburner stats in the top left corner throughout the benchmarking, the GPU doesn't really seem to be struggling that much, except in Fallout 4. But the rest of the titles, it was roughly between 50 and 70% usage, whereas the CPU was constantly above 70%.
So that's it for today's budget gaming PC, comprising of older hardware. We hope you've enjoyed today's video and we've given you an insight into what older hardware is capable of these days, especially considering, well, prices like we said earlier. But all that's left for you to do now is
Like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and we'll see you in the next video.